Just fucking do it. Subscribe now. And have a board member that you're not going to screen properly, and he's going to be a unindicted co-conspirator from the 80s of the savings and loans. You're dead. You're just dead. Don't try to resurrect it. Don't try to fucking fix it. Don't try anything. Just walk out smartly with your tail between your legs, and don't start crying till you get out of the office. There's no coming back from giving misinformation or not giving all the information to the banks. None. No coming back under any circumstances. You're just dead. You're toast, or however they say it now. And that's just it. Because if you forgot to tell them something, or you told them something that wasn't quite true, they're thinking to themselves, well, what else is there? They didn't tell me, or them. What else are they trying to hide? And that's why these board members that you don't have to explain about, that are, the world class, when you ask them the question, Mr. Jones or Ms. Smith, is there anything that could preclude us from having a financing approved in your background? In 1 out of 5 of the people you're going to interview are going to have something in their background. 1 out of 5. And an easy way, remember, type in their name, lawsuit, pedophile, blah, 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 whatever, and you see what the fuck comes up. And that's on page 63 or whatever, but it will come up. But then, but then you still ask them. Well, when it comes up, you're going to say, well, I want to give the guy or the gal the benefit of the doubt, so I'm going to ask him why. I don't ask him why. Clark Kent asks him why. I'm not interested in why. All I know is you're dog shit to me. You're useless because you may cause a deal to get killed. And it's always at the last minute that the bank or the investment bank pulls it up. And then weeks, months, whatever the time frame that you have invested in the deal goes down the toilet. So you're not interested in why. Yes, sir.
Have you considered having them sign to allow you to do a criminal background investigation?
You don't need to have them to sign shit. You can do a criminal background without their approval. Yeah, well, I have done. That's why I had an ex-FBI, and the two bitches from hell. But you don't need an approval to do a background check. That's bullshit. Yeah. And, well, the fun part of it is if when you tell them some of them, just like I told you that the employee is going to leave when you make them accountable, they will withdraw their name from consideration. Everybody, not everybody, but almost everybody's got something that they would rather not have in the public domain. I personally don't. And remember, I said a few years ago, the only thing that's not here is which hand I wipe my ass with, and I can tell you I wipe it with my right hand. And that's funny. That never got into the internet. I expected somebody to put in, Dan wipes his ass with the right hand. Now it's never come up. I'll say it again. I wipe my ass with my right hand. Except for when I'm in Asia. Then I have somebody else wipe my ass. You're not going to have any Indians on your board. Fucking racist. Jesus. I've even got Indians on my board. I have every black, yellow, purple. Well, I mean, don't start being like Clark Kent over there. Don't start you're already in the hole. You're only going to dig it deeper. But guys, I told you, and this is an awful thing, the world's state of the world, but we all know people think that way. It's just that you don't say it because of the PC. 100 years ago, or not even 50, 60 years ago, they said it out loud. You didn't try to hide your bias. Now again, because now, before maybe only 50% of the people rather be liked than effective. Now 99.9% of you rather be liked than effective. Because in a lot of ways, it's easier to make money now vis-a-vis, e-commerce, etc., as opposed to the old bricks and mortar. You make $1 million the old bricks and mortar way was tough. But now, the kids, this is an exaggeration. There's a jillion kids that make $1 million a year on e-commerce, which is only 80, 90 grand a month. There's a jillion of them. And so any questions about or anything that Josh said in his little role play? Okay. Yes, sir.
So once you go through 3 or 4 banks, what will make one stand out compared to the other? Well,
you went to school with them, or some banks, in his particular case, are more enamored with healthcare deals that are led by physicians, and they make it obvious. It's just like the horror stories you were telling me about. They're the opposite of that. They will when they open up their services, preferred loans, the Super Bowl and that kind of thing, like I was poking fun at. Nobody's ever offered me a fucking Super Bowl ticket in 50 years. No, or any of those kinds of things like that. Never. Maybe in my next 75 years, that was somebody, because people always question what, in the owner's box at the Super Bowl, what the fuck might Dan say? That's what they think. Which is true, because I'm not going to sign any agreement saying I'm not going to say shit. But the bank, it will become, you'll interview 5 banks. You should have 10 banks. Interview 10 banks. And the bank that has done the most recent healthcare, if it's healthcare, the most recent healthcare transaction, you find out what those parameters were. And the bank that has done the longest, distant, not in miles, but 2 years ago or 18 months ago, well, their parameters. But you're generally going to get a spread of plus or minus 5 or 10%. They're all doing deals at the same parameters. Now, there's not price fixing that banks get accused of, but there's price fixing. They may not do it on a spreadsheet that they send by email, but everybody is plus or minus 10% the same rates, because they feel that's being competitive. And I guess it is. It's being competitive, but it's also price fixing. So I said, I once testified in court, so it's competitive price fixing, but it's still damn price fixing. And you'll find, and one of the lines you heard the Vietnamese gangbanger say, those questions are premature. I'm here to establish if there's any rapport or chemistry. And it's a great comeback, and these questions stop. It's like they hit a brick wall, boom, they stop. But it's your job to professionally put them on their back foot, they say in this country, on their back foot. They're off balance and on the defensive. And once you get them on the defensive, it's, you own them. And nothing bad, no bribery or fraud or any of that stuff. And the other thing that I'm proud of Peter and the hospitals that he's purchased in Hungary, he hasn't paid a bribe. He's certainly been asked for bribes, but he hasn't paid one. And now that he's done so many deals, he's above the fray. You know, he's royalty now. You know, I got this far without paying for anything additional. I'm certainly not going to begin now, which is true. Anything else? No other questions? I read the homework. If the seminar was another 5 or 6 weeks, most of you'd be there where you got it. But it ends now. So but you will continue to improve. You want these phrases, the nomenclature, to become second nature to you. Now, unfortunately, we have kids that write down the thing on their hand when they go in to talk to the bank. But now you're in front of a screen. Nobody sees your notes. And then they're so nervous, the sweat smears the fucking thing. I mean, but now, here's the screen and it's easy fucking peasy. You have your bank nomenclature, you have your seller's nomenclature, it's easy. It's easy. And now, legitimately, and even if this vaccine works, they're not going to be able to get it out to anybody until next year, which means, I don't know what it means exactly, but there's a lot of complaints about it. One of the complaints, which is the normal FDA approval, somehow somebody shortcutted part of it. And they're all like this. Yeah, it's... I hope we got a vaccine. I hope it works. I don't want it to work too soon, but I hope it works. And I hope we at least trim the deaths count. You know, that's the humane side of me, where if I had a heart, it'd be here right now. But even with that, there's no savior for the sellers. Unless interest rates go like this, which are not. And remember, Chairman Powell said we're not even thinking about raising interest rates. That's music to our ears. That's music to our ears. And depending on where you live, just remember, roughly speaking, 20 cents of every dollar, pound, euro on the country's budgets are devoted to healthcare. If you're in that healthcare, but right now, the QLA bots, with all the tools that we've given you and the secret sauce that we didn't give the YouTube, you ought to be able to slam deals. A guy from the September seminar is getting ready to close his first deal. So that'll be in less than 60 days. Which will piss off Thomas even more, because he came out in Corona, and it's still Corona, and he believes that the sellers are on their knees, and they are. Okay. No other questions? Kids, I will see you for drinks before we eat. I'll see my... remember, no money, no fucky, sailor.
Sir. Just question on the contacting you. You say that email you, so we email to Q.
You're not. Don't email me. Don't bother. No, this is it. You know, like Pontius Pilate did to Christ. Adios, motherfuckers. Now you're not talking to me. This is it, sweetheart. I mean, good luck, good fortune, good hunting, and good whatever else. But I mean, if I never see you again, it'll be too soon. Sally didn't make me come to dinner. The staff all know I'm telling the truth. Didn't make me, I wouldn't be here. But she says it's the right thing to do. And it's the PC thing to do is what the fuck it is. That's what it really is. But she knows if she told me that, then I wouldn't come. Absolutely. I just go take a nap now. But anyway, you've got all the tools and did they get the, what do you call it? The They're in the room. All the materials that you have are in your room now. They're coded. So we know which one we gave you and you. So when you go try to sell it on the Mexican Mafia black market, we know who to go knees break whose knees. And Iranian, the Iranian black market, if you run to Iran, I'm not going to break your knees because I'm not coming and following you. But if you go to Manchester, we can take care of you in Manchester, which is just, a couple hundred miles from it. Kids, thank you very much. Good night.